Narcissists live in a world where they are the central figure, the star of their own carefully constructed narrative. Every interaction they have, every relationship they cultivate, is designed to reinforce their sense of superiority and control. When you walk away from a narcissist, you force them into a situation they are not prepared to handle. Narcissists spend their lives constructing an illusion, an image of superiority, confidence, and control. They will cycle through different emotions: rage, denial, self-pity, and sometimes even temporary introspection. But none of these emotions are truly about you. They are about their own inability to maintain control. This is why walking away is the most effective way to break free from a narcissist. If you remain firm in your choice to walk away, the narcissist will experience something they are completely unprepared for. Narcissists are dependent on attention. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. What matters is that they remain the focal point of your thoughts and emotions. As long as you are reacting, engaging, or even thinking about them, they still have control. All of this is done with one goal in mind: to make you react. Because the moment you respond, even if it's just to defend yourself, they regain control. The only way to truly break free is to make your absence absolute. No contact, no engagement, no emotional response. But when you go silent, when you refuse to react, you force them to see that they do not have the influence they believed they had. Narcissists will often escalate their behavior in response to silence. They will test boundaries, trying to provoke a reaction in any way possible. People often underestimate the power of walking away. They think that confrontation, argument, or emotional pleading are the strongest tools at their disposal. But that's simply not true. If you're dealing with a narcissist, someone who thrives on control, manipulation, and emotional dominance, then the most devastating thing you can do is refuse to engage. Refuse to be a pawn in their psychological game. Narcissists thrive on control. It's not just something they enjoy. It's something they require in order to sustain their sense of superiority. They construct an entire reality where they are the center, where their needs, their emotions, and their perspectives override everything else. They manipulate others into playing roles within that reality, keeping them hooked through cycles of idealization, devaluation, intermittent reinforcement. When you engage with a narcissist, you are feeding into this system, whether you realize it or not. They analyze your weaknesses, they exploit your fears, and they keep you emotionally invested just enough to maintain their grip on you. Control is the foundation of their psychological framework. It's not necessarily about love or care or even anger. It's about ensuring that they remain dominant in your emotional and mental space. This is why walking away is so devastating to them. It's not simply about losing a person. It's about losing their ability to dictate the terms of the interaction. When you remove yourself from the equation, they are left scrambling, desperate to regain the authority they once had over your thoughts and emotions. To a narcissist, losing control means losing the very thing that sustains their fragile sense of superiority. What makes this particularly unbearable for them is that they never expect it. Narcissists condition people to doubt themselves, to seek their approval, to feel like they need to prove something. They create an emotional dependency where the person they are manipulating feels like they are constantly walking on eggshells, striving to be enough, waiting for that fleeting moment of validation. And because they are masters of psychological warfare, they know how to push just the right buttons to keep someone engaged, whether through guilt, fear, or false hope. But the moment you recognize this and choose to walk away, you disrupt the entire dynamic. You introduce something they cannot tolerate: unpredictability. Narcissists operate best when they are orchestrating the moves, when they know exactly how you will react. The moment you remove yourself, you become an anomaly, an unsolved problem, a variable they cannot control. This shakes them to their core. They will respond to this loss of control in a number of ways. Some will try to hoover you back in, using charm, apologies, or grand gestures to lure you back into their cycle. Others will lash out, turning to smear campaigns, gaslighting, or outright aggression in an attempt to regain power. And some will retreat into themselves, temporarily withdrawing to recalibrate and find a new way to manipulate the situation.